It's round 8 of the Daytona DMAX Light Enduro Championship, and we are here at Clay Pigeon after absence. We've just had qualifying. Jack and Andy O'Neill are going to be on the front row. Jack, you were quickest in that one, but you were barely separated throughout that session. I guess you had a plan going into that. Yeah, it was a good plan. Basically working together to go around. We've got some big long straights here to sort of work with each other to get the fastest laps, and it's just one of those things where I was able to get a better toe than Andrew on one of the laps, and that's why I'm on pole and he's second, but there's nothing in it. Nothing in it. Interesting last lap last time I watched at Sandown. Yeah, it was quite a couple of interesting moves, and you just missed out on victory. I guess you're back to win this time. Hopefully, although being my luck, I've had second places 2 times now. Now I've got to compete against Andrew, who is quite hungry for this. So yeah, might be another second place. I'm not careful. Andy, let's bring you in quickly. You're going to be on the front row alongside your brother. That's going to be good. How long's it been since you guys raced each other?
Do you know what? I don't know, Chris, actually. It must have been a year or 2 ago at least. I think last time was a Daytona event at Sandown. So, it was a good qualifying. Yeah, as Jack said, we had a plan going into it. We knew we'd try and find each other after a few laps, getting the carts all warm. And, yeah, it was a good lap. I mean, Jack had a real good lap at one point. I was behind him. He just pulled away quite a bit. He was really aced, and I think that's why I got pole. But that should be a good race. We've got an hour race. Again, we've got a plan for that, but we'll see how we get on.
Anatoly, first of all, impressive pace, and you're behind the guy that actually won at Sandown Park. You must be feeling really good with the turn of pace you've had today.
Thank you. Yeah, well, of course I'm feeling good, and every round I'm getting quicker and better. Today I feel really confident. I feel my car is very good. Circuit suits to me, so yeah, I feel very strong today.
Championship leader Dante, who you're battling with, is just ahead of you in third, but you've got an advantage over points. Tom Kemping struggling. So from a championship point of view, let's just bring you around this way. That was a good session.
The session was all right. I think I was mainly third place for the most of it, and then right at the death in the final 2 laps, Axel and Sam jumped me. I think Dante got me with maybe 4 laps left, but it is really close. It is barely a hair width between all of us, apart from, the O'Neills, who are like a few heads ahead.
If the O'Neills get a break, they're going to be hard to catch, aren't they?
Yeah, they'll be very hard to catch. They're very quick, but in the end game, they're not really a factor. So I mean, it does help me out a little bit either way.
Good stuff. Thanks for speaking to us.
This is going to be a really good race. We've got the brothers O'Neill up the front.
Yes, it is.
But then look at who we've got down the further order of the grid. Ethan Suter, Josh Croft, Tom Kemping, last time out winner at Sandown Park. There are other drivers that could potentially move up. So
I think we're going to get into the race now.
Let's go to it.
Here's the race.
So here we go. It's round 8 of the 2017 Daytona DMAX Light Enduro Championship. And it's going to be an interesting one because we have 2 brothers lining up on the front row. It's Jack O'Neill, who nobly fought Tom Kemping on pole position, 0.2 of a second ahead of his brother Andy, with Dante Dillon currently second in the championship. On third place alongside him will be Axel Slijepcevic. Sam Lovelace and Max O'Shaughnessy round out row 3 ahead of Graham Cobb, with Ben Leslie, Charlotte Manton and Alex Brazier completing the top 10. Better qualifying effort from Charlotte, who was way down the order last time out at Sandown. We have 21 karts this time. 11th is Nathan Ballard. A very difficult qualifying for Sandown Park winner Tom Kemping down in 12th, ahead of Anatoly Duco, best light qualifying of the season, ahead of Sam Hampshire, Harrison Pugh, Boyd Wayne Jr., Nikolai Angelov, Ethan Suter, Josh Croft, Tom Nicol and Sam Bennett. They're coming in 2x2 formation round the final turn, ahead of going green for 1 hour of fast-paced racing here at Clay Pigeon. And speed is up. They're heading towards the start-finish line. Green flag waves and we are off!
Yes, Andy O'Neill takes the lead there as they go through towards turn 2. I think Jack O'Neill will retake it on the exit there and going through to third place. I think that was at second place. Sorry, is Axel Slijepcevic. So the O'Neill brothers split by Axel as they head down towards turn 4. Dylan is 4th place, O'Shaughnessy 5th, Lovelace is in 6th place, then it's Graham Cobb in 7th place, Ben Leslie
make that Charlotte Manton, and who's that behind
Well, Ben Leslie...
He's lost 2 places in 2 corners.
I think Alex Brazier was the driver trying to get past, couldn't get through in the end. Then it's Tom Kemping behind that as our race leader makes his way down the start-finish straight. It is Andy O'Neill, Jack O'Neill, sorry, leading the way. And Axel Slijevic takes the lead at turn 2, but Jack O'Neill was going to retake it again through the chicane. Andy O'Neill in second place there. It's hard to tell them apart, isn't it, at times, as they head down towards turn 4. Slijevic now in third place. Dylan in fourth. The field nicely compact at this early stage, but it's O'Neill 1 and 2.
And Tom Kemping is actually having a very big battle with Anatoly Dulko for position, I might add. So Tom Kemping down the order. It looked like they had a battery change on the kart before we went green, but look at this. It is going to be at least 7 or 8 karts within the same, no, make that 11 karts on the same piece of tarmac heading down into towards turn 2, with Andy O'Neill Jack O'Neill still leading the way ahead of brother Andy, with Axel Slijevic, Dante Dillon, Max O'Shaughnessy, Sam Lovelace, Graham Cobb, Ben Leslie, Charlotte Manton, and rounding out the top 10, that is Alex Brazier.
Andy O'Neill allowing his brother to escape here. He's defending from Axel. Really, all these two need to do is work together. They've got pressure from the likes of Dylan and championship leader O'Shaughnessy behind. Behind that is Lovelace, Cobb, and Ben Leslie. Then it's Charlotte Manton, and rounding out the top 10 is Alex Brazier. So, well, if I'm Axel Slijevic, I'm going to try and work with Andy O'Neill here, but Slijevic goes up the inside at turn 2. He'll lose it on the exit. Andy O'Neill goes back into second. Jack extends his lead. Dylan and O'Shaughnessy get closer, and we wait to do it all over again.
Now, Tom Kemping is running in clean air as it's literally nose to nose, bumper to bumper, as Axel Slijevic is battling with Andy O'Neill for second, and Dante Dillon is in the mix. He's up the inside, going into turn 5, and they're still pod to pod, side by side. Dillon slots in behind, tries to go for the switchback through the final turn, doesn't make it stick, but has dropped O'Shaughnessy, who has Cobb, Lovelace. Leslie is getting really racy, and Charlotte Manton is well in the mix here too.
As they head through turn 2 then, Jack O'Neill's lead stands at 2 seconds as they head through the chicane. 4/10 is the gap between Andy O'Neill in second and Axel Slijevic, and I think they've finally figured out that they're going to have to work together if they want
Ben
to
Leslie is
going on site.
Ben Leslie tries to go up the inside of Sam Lovelace into turn 4,
and Charlotte Manton's going to go up the inside of Ben Leslie and can't make it stick. Up ahead, Graham Cobb's challenging Max O'Shaughnessy for 5th place into the last corner. O'Shaughnessy covers it off. Graham Cobb looking very racy this morning.
Charlotte Manton's going side by side nearly with Ben Leslie going down the start-finish straight. This is the position. Charlotte slots back in behind as Cobb is trying to force the issue onto O'Shaughnessy into turn 2. Through the chicane they come. This is a 5-kart scrap for what is 5th out on track. So brilliant. And Graham Cobb signalling to the karts behind us. Ben Leslie goes up the inside of Sam Lovelace into turn 4.
And Ben Leslie has a nice move there. Sam Lovelace will fight back at turn 5, but Leslie should just about hold on, and he does. So Ben Leslie up to 7th place then. Now Max O'Shaughnessy runs wide and Graham Cobb gets through.
And Ben Leslie goes up the inside heading into turn 4. Great opportunistic move there, and Sam Lovelace is following suit.
Well, Sam Lovelace not quite able to get through, and Max O'Shaughnessy in the end doing a pretty good job to hold off, but well, Graham Cobb and Ben Leslie capitalise on a mistake from O'Shaughnessy there, so that's now 5th and 6th place for the number 9 and the number 4 two-seated drivers from last year. O'Shaughnessy trying to hold on to this championship lead is not having the best of runs. He didn't have the best of times at Sandown Park. Harrison Pugh comes out of the pits. I imagine he was the one who received that black flag.
Now look at this gap between Andy and Jack O'Neill as the pair head towards turn 6.
Half a second.
It's less than that now. It is 2 to 3 kart lengths as the pair come through the final turn. So I think Jack's had a...
Well, Andy was quickest last time round. He's got fastest lap.
He's got the advantage of that toe behind his brother, so the two Titan Motorsport drivers working well together.
3.5 tenths between them, and Andy in second, looked over his shoulder that time, got a nice gap over Slijevic. He'll just toe up to the back of Jack, push each other around, sort it out in the last lap.
And Graham Cobb's coming under increased pressure from Ben Leslie for position, heading down into turn 4. with O'Shaughnessy, Lovelace and Charlotte Manton at the back of this five-way squabble.
Here comes Lovelace at the inside of O'Shaughnessy in the blue race suit. Didn't quite get through, but good attempt there, and warning signs for O'Shaughnessy. And there was, and Max O'Shaughnessy, Ben Leslie's got a problem. Ben Leslie's off. Well,
and in the meantime, Sam Lovelace has gone up the inside into the chicane. Charlotte Manton's trying to go through as well.
Two more off. Anatoly Dulko's off.
And isn't that Alex Brazier
is off as well.
That's going into the turn one across the start-finish straight. Yellow flags are waved.
Well, there they are. They're wedged into the barriers. Ben Leslie has come to a stop. If you to the right of that, where we were just looking at Anatoly Dulko.
Now, I'd like to see an onboard from Anatoly Dulko, who had a camera on the top of his helmet. I'd like to see what happened, whether there was a bit of contact side by side coming through.
Unusual place to go. Very unusual place to go off. Let's have a look at what happened. It's not often you see two drivers going into the barriers like that at that corner.
So Anatoly Dulko was able to rejoin in the car that he was in, that went into the barriers just off of turn one.
Yes.
So all drivers will be monitored by race control through the transponders to be at
I'll tell you what, Axel Slievovich has dropped back some distance from Jack and Andy O'Neill. What's happening there? Look, he's coming down to turn 4. Is it me, or is Axel Slievovich struggling?
He's trying to feel. He's trying to sort of feel what the cart's doing, how it's reacting with the tyres. Now, the temperature at the moment is around about sort of 10 to 12 degrees, and with this slower pace.
Why is he going so slowly? He must be coming into the pits.
I'm just keeping an eye on the final turn. No, he's going to circulate again.
What's going on there then? Is that what the gap wasn't that big, was it?
It might have been because
2 seconds.
Andy and Jack seemed to be working together when they were keeping.
You know what? I reckon he's dropped back so he can get some heat into the tyres. We are green though. I reckon he dropped back so he could put his foot down a little bit. And Axel now going, I wasn't ready for that. And all of a sudden, there's a bit of a gap. He has some work to do. Dante Dillon's got closer. The two O'Neill brothers are up ahead working together. Let's see what Slievovich can do in response here. But Lovelace is moments away from a move.
And Lovelace
Cobb's gesticulating there. What's going on? He looked like he was signalling for a flag.
Or whether he was gesturing to Sam Lovelace to try and sort of move ahead, because Sam is clearly the faster driver out of the two, to try and work together. That could be a possibility in this early stage.
Just checking with the leaders. Axel Slievovich set a new fastest lap last time, so he is keeping the leaders honest and keeping the fight alive. But back to the battle we're watching. Cobb, Lovelace and Manton, O'Shaughnessy just behind. Well, I don't know what that was about. Let's watch Cobb again. Look, again. Oh, well, he has. He's waved him through. Has he waved him through?
It looks like, well, they're side by.
He was doing it.
And Charlotte Manton's right behind the pair of them. So whatever they're doing, it's not helping either of them at all, because Charlotte Manton's really on the back bumper of Sam Lovelace coming down.
It's something Cobb's doing. Let's try and see next time if he does it again. Wish we had a radio to some of these drivers. It'd be interesting to get some of their thoughts mid-race. We are about 17 minutes and 50 seconds into it, so approaching a third race distance. Let's see if he does it again. Look, again. Sticulating at something. Not happy with something. Is it something Sam Lovelace is doing? I don't know.
Andy O'Neill has just taken the lead of this race, and Jack is slotted right behind him. So down the start finish straight they go, so they seem to be working together in unison. Maybe we can catch a replay of that from an onboard from Axel. He's just set a new fastest lap, by the way, 39.720. So I imagine that would have been a move that they'd coordinated together, made easy as possible, almost like a move we'd see in cycling. Just go through, come on, and I'll tuck in behind. But whatever they're doing, it's not
stopping Axel Slijepsevich from getting closer.
It's not helping them, it's hindering them, because look at the gap, it's noticeably different.
New fastest lap by Axel last time, 39.7. The gap's only 7/10. What's it going to be this time? 4/10. So it came down 3/10. What's going on with this fifth place battle, Alex?
Well, they just got past Alex Brazier, who's just pitted, and Lovelace is still right on the back bumper of Cobb going into turn 4.
Down at turn 4, up towards turn 5 they go, and here comes Lovelace up the inside. Brilliant move, Sam Lovelace. It's been a long time coming, but he's now through into 5th place. Sam Lovelace up the inside at the left-hander. Graham Cobb needs to respond though, because Charlotte Manton and Max O'Shaughnessy are queuing up behind. So as they head down to turn 2, I can see a reaction coming from Graham Cobb here, Alex.
Definitely, but Charlotte Manton has really been closing, keeping all 3 other drivers honest. And O'Shaughnessy looked a bit more settled that time around, right on the back
I
bumper.
think he's going to go up the inside of Manton this time. Here we go, down towards turn 4. Watch Max O'Shaughnessy in the white race suit. There he goes, and that all came from a mistake from Charlotte Manton at the chicane. That allowed Max O'Shaughnessy to get the run down the straight into turn 4. Thank you very much. I'll take 7th place. So the championship leader up 1 spot then. Andy and Jack O'Neill are working together absolutely perfectly at the moment. They've just set a new fastest lap. Jack O'Neill did a 39.624, and guess what lap time Andy O'Neill did? A 39.624. Exactly the same time. It came down to thousandths of a second. And Axel Slijepsevich has absolutely no response to it. It's opened the gap to 1.6 seconds. There's Dante Dillon. There's literally no one around him, is there? He is in 4th place. We've had absolutely no reason to talk about him so far, but I think we should. He's doing a pretty good job. He's 2nd in the championship. The championship leader is back in 7th place in this fight coming out the chicane. Oh, and here comes O'Shaughnessy. He's got a run on Graham Cobb. He's going to go up the inside into turn 4, and O'Shaughnessy, a slight mistake from Graham Cobb at the chicane. Same move that O'Shaughnessy did to Charlotte Manton. Exactly the same thing. Both made a slight mistake in the chicane. And O'Shaughnessy, that's endurance racing for you. You've just got to wait sometimes for that opportunity. It will come eventually. And now O'Shaughnessy up to 6th place, 1 place closer to his championship rival Dante Dillon.
And Charlotte Manton is still keeping in touch, doing a great job at the moment behind Graham Cobb for what is 7th pad on track, as Cobb gets a little bit wide coming out of turn 3. Manton tries to think about a move up the inside.
Would have been very ambitious to come from that distance. I think it was just a look more than anything else, wasn't it? Tom Kemping can't be too far behind this.
He's just coming through turns 5 and 6 as we speak.
He's about 4.5 seconds back, so he's not a million miles away, but he's not at his best. He's far from his best today, Tom Kemping. Here he comes down the start-finish straight, and evidently pushing very hard, but just doesn't seem to have the speed not of usual today. And sometimes when we don't come to a track and we miss it for 1 year and then come back, it can create a bit more of a level playing field. Graham Cobb there again, I think just trying to say to Max O'Shaughnessy, I'm going to work with you. Let's get past Sam Lovelace.
And O'Shaughnessy trying to jump up in the seat a little bit there, trying to get the car to move forward.
Well, I'll tell you what, the rear wheels are just lifting as they come through this chicane there. So they're carrying a lot of speed. Very good lines being taken. Good amount of speed being taken into the corner, and kart's working really well out there around this tight and twisty circuit. We're below 40 seconds, at 40 seconds exactly for most. Some are just dipping below the 40-second mark as we are into the half race distance. Fuel levels now starting to decrease. I was going to say someone's going to be getting a penalty there. Someone's knocked a cone off of this cone. Don't know who that's going to be for. And I can see a warning board being prepared. The yellow flag's out of the chicane now. They'll get that cone back in place. And here we go. This could open up some overtaking. And Max O'Shaughnessy is going to stick one up the inside there. Sam Lovelace, all because of that yellow flag. Max O'Shaughnessy quicker off the mark as the yellow flags came in.
And Graham Cobb's trying to go up the
Lovelace-
inside as well. Graham Cobb's actually going to try and get past both of them in the same move.
Oh, he's left the door
But
open.
Charlotte Manton. Manton's gone through, and she was nearly side by side there with Sam Lovelace coming out of that final turn. Yellow flags still being waved, so Charlotte Manton steals a march on Graham Cobb coming through the final couple of corners there.
Yeah, you got to feel sorry for Cobb. He got stuck on the outside there, and Charlotte Manton taking advantage just to get up the inside, knowing there was nothing Cobb could do about it. So good driving from Manton, unfortunate on Cobb's part, and Kemping gets a little bit closer once again. 3 seconds now, so that gap's come down by about 1.5 seconds. The Belgian is flying at the moment.
Manton was looking up the inside of Lovelace going into turn 4 there. So Charlotte
Here she
Manton,
comes on the inside at turn 5. Have that Sam Lovelace. Can she hold on?
a little bit of pot barging there.
Elbows out. But Lovelace did well to hold on.
That-
And,
that's-
Manton, perhaps, it's a hard corner to overtake that one because it lends itself to the driver on the outside once you approach turn 6. So sometimes not the best place to overtake. But if you do the move, if you can get a move done properly there, then it's almost better to go too deep on the brakes when overtaking. Let them get the switch back because you'll still be on the inside for turn 6. So let's talk.
And Graham Cobb goes
Graham
up the
Cobb.
inside of Charlotte Manton into turn 4, but Charlotte's got the run.
Uh,
Graham waves her back through.
Must have been a mistake, but into that left-hander, if you imagine you go a bit deep through there, they come back to the inside on the exit. They'll be on the outside for that right-hander our drivers have just gone through in this 5th place battle. All of this has allowed O'Shaughnessy to escape. Now, Kemping was 2.2 seconds behind. Let's see what he is now. 1.9, so the gap's coming down. The Belgian is catching. Graham Cobb's really dropping away from this
And
now.
Sam Lovelace is right on the back bumper going into turn 1. Thinks nearly about the switch back into
Cobb's
turn
coming
2.
to a halt. He's come to a stop. Graham Cobb's coming. Now, he was losing power. He was losing pace over the last 2-3 laps. And Graham Cobb, I think, sensed there was a problem coming, forced to stop in the end. Now, what's that going to be?
That is full course yellow whilst Graham Cobb runs across the start-finish line.
Now, what? Wow, not too sure what that be. If that's it's got to be sort of an engine issue, which has meant he's had to stop. So Graham will have to run back as fast as he can to fetch a new kart. But across the start-finish line they go. Oh, and well, that time he looked like Jack was looking to the inside, and there goes Jack O'Neill up the inside of Andy O'Neill. Andy O'Neill comes back through. I think that was to say game on. Ding ding, round 1, here we go. Up towards turn 4 as now Andy O'Neill, which one's ahead? I think it's Andy O'Neill on the defensive.
They've just got past Charlotte Manton, and it's Andy still ahead by a whisker.
Yes.
Going into turn 6.
Up towards turn number 6 they go. Jack just behind. Up towards the last corner. I think we're going to get 2 more laps in. I can see the last lap board being prepared.
And it's side by side going down the start-finish straight. Here we go. Here we go. It's on.
Down towards turn number 2. Jack trying to get up the inside of Andy. Couldn't get through. Andy having a quick look over the shoulder there through the chicane for the last time. So Andy O'Neill there. Black race suit, white helmet, leading his brother. Jack O'Neill down towards turn 4 for the last time. Into there they go. They've got plenty of room behind. It's going to be between these two at the moment. Andy just has the advantage. Jack trying to get the switch back out of turn 5. They're side by side for turn 6. A bit of contact. A bit of smoke coming off the tyres. 1 corner to go, Alex.
And Jack's gone up the inside into the final turn of this race. It's side by side. It's a drag race to the finish. Who's going to come on top? Is it going to be Andy? Is it going to be Jack? It is Jack! O'Neill wins the race by a mere whisker.
32 thousandths of a second. Jack O'Neill just about takes the victory from Andy O'Neill in a drag race to the line. Brilliant driving from both the O'Neill brothers there. Third place, Axel Slijepcevic
And I saw a very nice smirk there from their dad, Martin O'Neill. That was brilliantly done, boys.
We enjoyed it.
I did say it would swing one way or the other, and it swung in the way that we both favoured. They battled until the bitter end. They thought, we're going to feel each other out. We know what each other's like out on track. A little battle. And Jack has just got bragging rights.
Jack O'Neill then wins. Coming down the start-finish straight, Andy O'Neill second, Axel Slijewicz rounds out the podium. The second race this round that's been decided at the last lap, last corner.
Well,
if I'm correct. Yes.
We actually had third place in the heavy.
Third place, that was it.
So we had a positional change on the last lap on the last corner, and it was a drag race. That was even closer.
That's got to be one of the closest finishes we've had all season.
One of the closest finishes this season. I think it might be the closest, but apart from that, light heats, Buckmore Park final. Zach Swinnell, Axel Slijewicz, 0.048, and they've just beaten it by 1600ths of a second.
Dante Dillon was fourth, Max O'Shaughnessy fifth, and it was Lovelace, Manton, Kemping, Croft and Bennett rounded out the top 10. Good recovery from Sam after some problems in qualifying. Sam Hampshire was 11th, then it was Ballard, Boyd Wayne Jr., Angelov, Pugh, Cobb. A shame for Graham Cobb having to do a kart swap. Anatoly Dolko also had problems, likewise Ethan Soot involved in the incidents. So was Alex Brazier, Tom Nicol likewise. Ben Leslie unfortunately retired after 57 laps.
So, ladies and gentlemen, congratulate our podium finishers for round 8 of the 2017 Daytona DMAX Light Enduro Championship.
Okay, so we're on the podium after round 8 of the Light Enduro Championship here at Clay Pigeon. Axel, third place for you. In the end, a lonely third place, but you did pressurise the O'Neill brothers for the majority of that race.
Yeah, I tried my hardest. I mean, it was like playing chess against two people with twice the pieces, and one of them would back off, tempt me into a move so they could both slingshot me. One of them back off, push me further back into the pack, and it was very hard, so I have to settle for third this time.
But, you know, third place, the guys not doing the full championship, so in a way, championship-wise, it must feel like a bit of a win.
Yeah, I mean, I've said before, I'm not too fussed about this championship, just here for the fun. Heats is where I'm my main focus, and hopefully I can do well this afternoon.
Well, I hope you enjoyed it. As you said, a unique situation at times, but I hope you enjoyed the race. We certainly did. Andy, we'll come speak to you next. Second place. I guess it was all about those last few laps, wasn't it? You guys followed each other around for the most of it. Then you got split up, got back together again. That does sound weird. That sounds like a film. Yeah, got back together at the end, and it was a happy ending. But 32 thousandths in the end. So what were you thinking coming down to the line?
Should have stuck my leg out. I don't know why I didn't think of that. I think I might have been if I'd done that. But no, it was a great race. Jack was mighty fast today. I think he could have won by quite a long way, actually, if he didn't help push me round. But no, we got to a few laps to go, and he sort of made the move to the inside. I thought, right, game on, here we go. I didn't know he was going to the inside of that last corner. It was really close. I thought I had him on the outside. I thought I'd just run him out. And then suddenly he just faked and went the other way. And to be fair, it was fair to me off the corner. He didn't run me off the track. No, it was a really good finish. But no, I think, yeah, banging wheels at the end there, that's what it's all about.
I mean, it was fair racing from both of you, wasn't it? And was there a point where it was, this is game on now? Because it looked to be a signal coming from one of you, and then that was it. The first move came, and that was you guys passing each other for the last 3 laps.
Yeah, I think it was down the front straight here. He sort of put the cart to the outside. Suddenly wasn't pushing him anymore, and I thought, right, okay, now he's not pushing. It's now race on. So it was about 2 minutes to go. I think otherwise, if it wasn't for his help today, I think I wouldn't have. I might have come second, I don't know, but I had to have blocked quite hard for second place. But no, it was a good, deserved win for Jack, and it was great fun to race. Well,
you say that, but your best times were split by thousandths of a second. So it was at one stage you literally did exactly the same time. So we'll speak to Jack. Well done, Andy. Jack, there we go. I think you've got to talk us through that race-winning move. We'll probably get up the replay now, but talk us through it then. Going into the last corner.
To be honest, I thought I'd lost it actually coming out of the corner. I thought, damn, I put myself on the outside here. And unlike the pro cars and stuff, it's pretty much flat, but the DMAXs, you have a little bit of a break. And I thought, Andrew's not going to expect me to sort of come fly at the inside here. And I mean, I trust him. You know, I've raced against him quite a few times and sort of different arrive and drive sort of things. And I could trust him to sort of know that I was there, so it wouldn't look like I was sort of T-boning him off out of the corner. And there's a drag race to the end. And it was pretty much just wheel bang across the line, which is final lap thing. That's what makes all that, isn't it?
Yeah. And we were always watching your dad as well, Martin. We could see him on the sidelines with 2 laps to go. But he seemed to really enjoy it. You know, you guys a lot of trust in each other, right? And fair racing, wasn't it?
Yeah, it's very rare we get to race against each other because it's always team endurance racing that we do. So it's nice, you know, everyone's wants to come down here. Not have any pressure to do any sort of result, but just have a good fun against each other. We drive very, very similarly. There's nothing in it between us usually. So it was just owners 1-2.
Will we see you back?
Maybe in the sprints later on today. No, definitely in the sprints later on today. Maybe other rounds. Not sure yet.
Well, hopefully we do. But game on for the sprints later.
Well, that had my heart in my mouth for the second enduro race in succession today.
Yeah, a very good end to the race. Well done to the two O'Neill brothers. Hopefully we see them back racing in Enduro. If you want to get involved yourself, we've still got 2 more rounds of the championship to go. We're at Daytona Tamworth next month, and then the following month we are at Daytona Milton Keynes for the championship finale. So please do get involved. We've got 3 weight classes. You can do Enduro or the heat. So if you're not a fan of doing long races, you can do the heat races as well. For all the details on all of that, visit our website or call this number.